You know what really grinds my gears? Hypocrites. There are many, many reasons to hate the likes of Ken Ham and Kent Hovind, but chiefly among them is one word. I love free speech. I would never ever want to live in a society where people were punished for what they thought and what they said. And I know there's a lot of Christians out there that don't really hold that view, but I think most of them enjoy their free speech and don't have the need to screw with other people, at least in terms of what they can say and what they can think. But ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to ban a word. I know. Let that sink in a second. We're going to ban a word. There's a word that I'm not going to ever say. And if this word is at the center of an argument, I will not respect it. I won't even acknowledge it with any manner of dignity. I will attack it with the most Hitchenesque of hatred and disdain. And that word is worldview. I am fed the fuck up with Christians basing apologetic arguments around the word worldview, and I'm sick and tired of my fellow atheists even acknowledging the word as even remotely legitimate. Very frequently, I'm more and more beginning to hear the phrase stealing from our parentheses Christian worldview. I think Kent Hovind and some of his friends accused Bill Nye of stealing from the Christian worldview by saying he had a joy of discovery. And very frequently, when the apologetic from the meaning of life, as I call it, the argument from the meaning of life, this non-existent, innately fallacious concept, the meaning of life, they also tag the word ultimate, because they know, Ken Ham especially, will always use the word ultimate as a qualifier, as a disclaimer. They know that we have plenty of meaning in our lives as atheists, but that meaning is meaningless. That meaning is meaningless because it's not ultimate meaning. That 80 years from now, 100 years from now, maybe 200 years from now, depending on what kind of life I lead, everybody will have forgotten I ever existed. Dun, 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 dun. Don't give a fuck. I enjoy my life right now. I enjoy the people around me who enjoy me. Meaning enough. But that's meaningless because my worldview is borrowing and or stealing from the Christian worldview by my saying that my life has any meaning. You see why we got to ban this word yet? We cannot acknowledge that. We got Dr. Ken Ham and Dr. Ken Hovind, and Eric Hovind is actually the person that I was referring to before. They look so similar, talk so similar, and so similarly are they stupid that I mixed them up. My bad. But there's a reason why a lot of us refuse to call them doctor, because mailing in a shitty essay to a degree mill does not make ye a doctor. And worldview is a fucking meaningless word. How's that for a statement about meaning? They have an identity based around faith. And faith is latently, blatantly, intrinsically, explicitly, and definitionally, that's probably not a word, but let's go with that, not science, not reason, not reasonable, not logic, and not logical. It's a choice, and it's a choice based around concepts that are wrong. They're not fact, they're not true, and they're allowed to go do that, but they can't come and tell me that I don't know anything because only God knows anything. They used to have to say God knows everything. Now they're so backed into a fucking corner that they have to say only God knows anything. They have a claim to knowledge, a monopoly on meaning, and Christian science is the only science, and that everything else is just some great big fucking hoax or something. You ever wonder why these Christian worldview guys will never outright accuse a scientist of being a hoaxer or a liar or just an agent of Satan? Not to their face anyway. They won't say it because they know it's not true. And that's why I guess, even though I don't think the likes of Ray Comfort and Chris Hovind, or Eric Hovind, Ken Hovind, fucking all these faggots, that's why a lot of people think they're pose, because they know they're lying. But never underestimate the power of religious brainwashing. They have compartmentalized their brains so that they can talk to cameras and podcast on the internet and call people on their cell phones and watch television and drive in their cars and fly on an airplane and live in their air-conditioned house and take advantage of every benefit that rational, reasonable, and very much so anymore, atheistic science has given them, and spit in its face, jerk off, and say that we're borrowing from their worldview, that if we enjoy anything but cold, clinical fucking statistics and crap. Don't ever acknowledge or respect a statement that includes the word worldview. You know what? I don't even care if it's an explicitly Christian argument you're dealing with. This is a fallacy. The word worldview is 99 out of 100 times tied to a fallacious statement. Call whoever says it to you out on it. Period. Thanks for watching.